Right guys, Gaft is back with the explanation to the trick you would have seen yesterday, and I had a few comments about the dog. Bailey was asleep in his crate, and when I said, Bailey, Bailey, I thought I told you he was messing around. He was looking at me like, Dad, I'm not doing anything. That was just a little bit of misdirection, just so that you could see the deck on the ground and no cards moving. So the gimmick is 2 cards attached together with, if you can see it, the elastic thread. Basically you've got a bit of elastic thread between these 2 cards. These 2 cards are going to be somewhere in the middle of the pack. So when the spectator freely chooses the 9 of hearts, you'll be able to cut at that point. And what I would say as well, I've actually crimped the jack a little bit so that I can actually get a decent break on it. I thought because there's a bit of thread in there and a little bit of tape, that might have been enough that I could catch a break every time to get the card in the right place, but it wasn't working out for me. So I did crimp the card a little bit just so I could always get that break. So I know that the thread is going to be where that little break is. So what you're going to do, they're going to select a card, you're going to push it in. I know it's there, I can feel the thread. You're going to push it in. Make sure you cut it pretty much to the bottom. That gives you the ability to put the deck on the ground, and hopefully that card does not shoot out. The card will only shoot out when you dribble the cards a little bit, it will fly out of the packet. So we're going to build that gimmick, very simple to build, and I'm going to build it on 2 red bicycle cards, because in the comments, if you're one of the unlucky people that cannot find this elastic thread, this to me in the UK is readily available from eBay. It's about £4 for a roll. So if you're one of the guys who cannot find this for whatever reason, let me know in the comments, and one lucky person I will send this gimmick we're building to you. So I've just pre-threaded my needle just to make life a little bit quicker, and I'm going to punch 2 holes in this card and 2 holes in this card. So I'm going to go in the centre, I'm going to punch a hole through this bit here. So I'm going to go through the card, and I'm going to come back through the card just below the hole I've already done. And then I'm going to pull this thread through. Like that. And now this little piece of thread here, I'm just going to put a little bit of normal clear tape over it. So I'm just going to get a little bit of normal clear tape, and I'm going to tape that bit down here. And I'm going to cut it off. I've just done the 2 holes, it just gives it a little bit more support on the tape. You don't have to put too much tape on it. And we'll get that end and we'll just trim it off to that point of tape. Now that was a tiny piece of tape, so I'll probably just put a slightly bigger piece on it just to make sure that it is secure and it's not going to come off. Now the spectator's never really going to see this part of the card, and then I'm going to overlap this card about 1 centimetre or so, and I'm going to get my needle, and once again I'm going to puncture 2 holes. So one's going to be in about here, about there say, doesn't have to be actually precise, and one just a little bit above it, just say here. Pull that through. Get it round the right way. Overlap it about 1 centimetre or so. And that's about the tension I want. I'm not going to pull this tight, I'm just going to leave it just, the tension's on it but it's not stretched, if you know what I mean. And we'll tape that off as well. and we'll cut off that excess, and that's basically it. That is basically the gimmick done. See, it's practically invisible from the face, even with the bit of tape on there. But like I say, that's how easy the gimmick is to build. So we'll get rid of that. Move that needle so I don't lose it. So you've got your gimmick hidden inside your packet, so you are able to spread the cards. I mean, there's a little bit something going on here, but no one's ever going to notice that. And you can spread it from this way. If it's an old scruffy deck, people aren't going to be suspicious if there's bunches of cards. So we'll move that. Oh, sorry. So right, I know my gimmick's somewhere in the middle at the moment. When you're going to push the card in, the gimmick's at the top here. You want this way round. So what I did in performance, I made sure that gimmick was right on the bottom of the deck, so I was able to give it a little bit of a shuffle. Shuffled it so I know roughly it's somewhere in the middle now. Now spectators got a free choice to pick any card. Let's say they have this one. In this case it is the Jack of Diamonds. All you're going to do is cut at your little crimp. You're going to place this card into the packet. You'll feel where the elastic is. You'll push it in. You need to just keep a grip of the two ends now when you're cutting the cards. This is just a bit of a convincer. We're just going to lose your card somewhere in the pack, and at some point you're going to cut your gimmick to the bottom. Now you want to rotate the deck this way because the gimmick wants to shoot out this way. And the dog was just a little bit of a convincer because I was able to put the deck down. You guys didn't know exactly what was going to happen anyway, but it was for my benefit really, letting you see the deck there so you weren't expecting anything. And then you can just pick the deck up and one card will shoot out and it will be the spectator's chosen card. Now I did say I'd put a crimp in this card, so I'll just show you what I did. I just put a crimp on the bottom card. I turned the card this way and I just did a little crimp this way round, so it puts a little raised bit on the back of the bottom card, just so that when it is in the packet there's a natural big crimp that you can cut to. Like I say, when I had it just like this, I thought the fact that you got a bit of thread there, a little bit of tape, that would have created a natural break, a crimp, but it wasn't. It wasn't big enough that I could catch it every time, and you don't want to be fumbling around. You want it to be just nice and smooth. So we'll go through that again. You've got your card here, so you want it round this way because you want to push the card in this way. Spectator's got free choice. The three of spades, you're going to cut at your crimp. Place that card in, you can feel it go against the elastic. Give the cards just some convincers of cuts. You need to rotate the deck. As long as that's on the bottom, you can place this down. That's not quite far enough, make sure it's right on the bottom. So you've got a little bit of weight above it. There's a bit of a convincer. Pick the deck back up and just drop the cards, dribble the cards. One card will shoot out and it will be their card. So like I say guys, this is a 2-minute build, but if you cannot find this elastic thread, you're buggered. So in the comments, if you cannot find this thread, leave me a comment and I will pick one of the people's comments that say they can't find it and I'll send this to you. How's that? There will be a link in description to this. This is Prym knitting in elastic thread. Google search it, it will come up straight away, readily available on eBay. I'm pretty sure you could find this on Amazon and it's fairly cheap. So that's it guys. Make sure to subscribe to the Gaft Academy, post notifications on, and come back tomorrow for the reveal. And I'll pick the winner in a couple of days, give you a chance to see it. Cheers.